Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Coins Alert channel. Like always, this is Rich making another movie about XRP. Today, we're going to talk about XRP. I hope everyone is having a great day, no matter where they are in the world. But first, I have to read this from Cointelegraph. Hey Justin, you can speed up transactions by 20% with Ethereum. If transactions are faster and cheaper, fees could drop by 10 to 30%. Ethereum has never been a favorite of mine. You don't have to pay gas fees. On the other hand, this could be what we've been waiting for to get Ethereum going and start alt season. We should wait and see what happens next. Since the start of XRP Ledger, Ripple Mint has made the most RLUSD. Ripple just made 7.1 million RLUSD. That shows that RLUSD is being used by a lot of people and that more progress is on the way. And RLUSD still hasn't done anything useful for us yet. There's still something I want to happen. Remember when everyone said, once that stablecoin comes out, we'll all be $10 overnight? I kept telling them that it would be a steady rise over time. In the end, this worth will show up in the price of XRP with fintech companies, as shown by its support for HR 1602. Now, the Cftc is starting a test project with Ripple to look into using stablecoins and other digital assets as collateral. This shows that Ripple's early efforts to work with regulators are paying off. It looks like Ripple is now working with the Cftc. Plus, I'm interested in what will happen with the Ripple versus SEC case. That Ripple versus SEC case can be over with UADA. We don't need to wait for Atkins to join the SEC. That's important to say because many people don't think the case will end soon. They still think it will last until the summer of 2025. I don't believe that. It seems like it will end when no one is expecting it. As more companies use blockchain technology, traditional markets are mixing with crypto derivatives. We've been very early the whole time. Listen to this. Having Coinbase and GSR join this meeting today is an example of how these two markets are starting to come together. As I said, the native crypto derivatives market was growing in its own little world. The traditional finance market was growing another one. I think we can already see that both sides need to come up with uniform standards for things like documentation, best practices, credit, and operations. We're still in the early stages, but I see this as a great example of how things are coming together to solve all of these problems, which will make the market much more stable and, to be honest, stronger. Yes, I believe we are now at a point where it is both about business prospects and ISDA, Josh. It's also about the machinery that helps it work, right? It's also about things like a shared domain model, protocols, and industry tools. People in both the traditional finance world and the crypto native world are interested in things like traditional finance reference data, right? Places where they've tried to make industry utilities and where there might be a way for everyone to share info, right? When we talk about derivatives, these things are very important and not just for price. They are also important for making the products, baskets, financial indices, and other similar things. So when we got to these points where things started to come together like ISDA, you had to take a look at what we can do and what we can really accomplish. Consider what they'll do. They are going to make apps that are easy for people to use, fiat on ramps, and cleaning services. It is getting easier to get into crypto like it is to trade stocks. That comes from Mr. Man, and we can see how TradFi and DeFi are coming together. Now things are beginning to happen because there are people in the stock market who want to get into crypto. And in the crypto space, we're just waiting for big companies to start using it. But the only reason they're still not willing is because of rules. That's it once those are set up. The amount of money coming into crypto is going to be huge. It was Ripple and amazing all the time. Men who are grown up will cry. Listen to what Bitcoin miner Jed McCaleb has to say. Also, when I heard about Ripple, I thought, hey, I think Bitcoin is great, but I do think there's a better way. I feel like mining is a constant drain on the system, taking value away. But so far it's been fine because more money has been going into it. But that will change at some point, and I think mining would be a big problem when things are balanced. I wanted to find a way to sort of make a distributed record that everyone agrees on without having to mine. So that's what led to the idea of that base Ripple. Besides that, I hope that people would use it and it would fly. He knows that Bitcoin mining isn't always easy. At some point, it will be a thing of the past, and Bitcoin will run on these networks instead. They just don't want to see it yet, just like the XRP Ledger, Stellar Network, Hedera Network, XDC Network, and Bitcoin Maxis. But this is going to happen quickly after it does. Anyone who invests small amounts of money in Bitcoin will end up holding their breath while they wait for the price to rise again. But it's going to fall apart in the end. Poland will never think about Bitcoin because their funds need to be completely safe. No matter what. What's so wrong with Bitcoin? Here's what it is. Bitcoin runs on hype and guesswork. These countries are not going to fall for the hype and speculation. They're going to go in a different way. They're going to use whatever works to solve the problem. Every country is moving toward a gold-backed currency, so they will have to use digital money that is backed by real gold to move money around the world. They are giving up on Bitcoin. Boom. Utah House Bill 230 lets more than one crypto be used. Ripple's XRP could become part of the US backup, giving it more than just Bitcoin as backup assets. Every day I see all these Bitcoin Maxis saying that a certain state is going to create a Bitcoin-only reserve, but it's all BS. These states are coming up with digital asset stocks, meaning that they're going to hold different cryptocurrencies in their reserves, most likely something that moves money or solves a real-world problem. But the hype has to continue because the second the hype ends, Bitcoin ends, and that's why you're seeing all the hype at a new all-time high. But the narrative is changing at the same time. So in the next 2 years in the UAE, you will be able to do more with cryptocurrency than with the dirham and the dollar. As blockchain and crypto are used more by the government to move money and tokenized assets, the US dollar will finally lose its value. That's why I said that someday people will not carry cash. It's going to happen. When is it going to happen? It probably won't happen for another 2 or 3 years, but it will happen soon since everything is going digital. The new way of handling money will be digital. AI is going to be a big part of the new money system. From now on, everything will be fully automatic. Fiat will just end up, it's just going to become something that doesn't exist anymore. But I believe you will have those two computers running at the same time for a while. There will be digital money, fiat money, and crypto lines that are also going to be built out. In the end, cash and fiat will be gone, leaving you with digital US government money or whatever other government coin is out there. Then there will be the crypto rails, which early buyers will be able to use to their advantage. This idea is talked about by the ECB as well. That's where I got it. Kirsten has talked about it the most. A lot was said about parallel trains by the IMF. It's still being talked about by the ECB. I think the same thing will happen in the US. What should we do, Elon? Either pay your taxes or wait for Doge to get rid of the IRS. A lot of people aren't sure if they should pay their taxes yet because they think the IRS will go away soon. They don't want to pay their taxes and then find out later that they didn't pay them, that they are going to get rid of the IRS. Also, USAID is said to have given $122 million to groups that work with foreign terrorist organizations. This is not about Cub Scout packs. Listen to this. This is the kind of stuff Musk found. He learned that the USAID helped electric cars in Vietnam by giving them money. That's our money, tax money. It turned out that USAID gave money to an Indian center for transgender people. That is something I didn't know. I bet most Americans didn't know that. He learned that USAID gave $1.5 million to Grupa Izlaji, a Serbian LGBTQ group. I probably said that wrong. Sorry about that. Anyway, they were paid $1.5 million to say that they had improved diversity, fairness, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces, which was praised by business. What else did Mr. Musk find that my coworkers don't want to talk about? He looked over a study and then went to check it out.